We're going to get started here and let other people come in as necessary. I just want to thank you all first for coming today. You are all amazing, amazing women who I recognize as being both incredible creators and amazing supports for me in my creative life. And in some ways, every single one of you has sort of inspired the creation of this space through the support that you've lent me when I text you with, I have a crazy idea, and you draw it out of me, or when you tell me about what you're working on and I get so inspired and I just want to see it come to the fullest expression of itself in this world. And the mutual support that could be created in a group like this, a group of continuous reciprocity, of support, of limitless creativity, and pushing each other to go a little bit deeper within ourselves, pushing each other to go a little bit further in our work, to really get down to both the truth of who we are and the truth of what we want to create for the world, for ourselves, I think is a really, really powerful community to build. And this call is just so we can sort of get to know each other, be inspired by what everybody is working on in this space, and sort of feel like if this is the sort of community that you would benefit from in your life and in your work. So basically how this call is going to go is I would really like to go around first and have everybody introduce themselves and maybe say why you decided to come to this meeting today and what it is you're working on, and what you're really hoping or what your vision is for both in your creative life, whether you're an artist or a musician or a writer or an entrepreneur, like what your big vision is. And I would suggest that when you're speaking, that you show up, that you practice showing up as your highest self. So not really letting any of the narratives or the stories come through about whether you belong here, whether you're actually a creative person, whether you have the capacity. Let's just talk about our big visions, because I think everybody, including myself, is like, what am I doing here? So so we're gonna have a talking stick. So when you're ready to speak about what you're doing, pick up the stick, speak for just a few minutes, and then when you're finished, put down the stick and let someone else speak. Okay, so I am putting the stick in the middle.
Where's
Okay,
the
silence is killing me.
Uh-oh.
Is Myra, are you going on? Christina, you go, I'll go after you.
Is there more than one Christina? Okay, I'll go first, ladies. Well, let's see. Anna, you keep time for me. If I go too long, you cut me off. I'm here today because of my beautiful friend Anna and her love and the way she's opened my heart and inspired me. And I'm getting really, really clear on my purpose, which is to bring my gifts and my creative visions to the world. And really recently, I've had this incredible opportunity to go a little bit more public with them and have them be broadcast. So I feel really, really honored that my masters are happy with me, that I'm moving in the right direction, and I'm bringing my gifts and sharing them not only intimately with beautiful, open-hearted women and creative women on a personal level, but also going a little more public with them now. And I'm super grateful for that. That's it.
Or picking up the stick. I'm here obviously because of my gorgeous connection with Anna, just like this sexy soul sister that just airdrops all this incredibleness into my Telegram box every other day. Just so lucky to like just be a part of her processing and learning all about all of the new projects and things like that. So I wanted to come on and not only just support this really important vision for her, but also to just support my vision also. So I am what I would describe to be like a divine feminine leadership mentor these days, and channel. I'm owning that. That's taken quite a long time for me to say that out loud. So I thought I'd practice it here. And I have got a specific body of work that is being channeled right now, which is called The Journey of the Awakening Woman. And it's just starting to piece together now. And I am aiming, or I will be launching in January 2022. So I've got the rest of this year to get that out there in the world. And so for me, what I'm really hoping to get from this is some really strong accountability, and definitely other people's eyes on it, although the idea of critiquing makes me freak, which is why I'm definitely leaning in. I'm like, anything I don't want to do, I'm balls deep and in. So I'm looking forward to some critiquing and some accountability, and just standing for another woman's vision, really, I guess, as part of a community. Putting down the stick.
I will pick up the stick. Hopefully it won't be too windy. I'm Tabitha, and I am obviously here because of Anna as well. I've known Anna in a professional capacity and personal capacity for years, and she's fucking amazing in all ways. So anytime Anna is showing up with something, I just want to get my mouth and my hands and my body all over it. So I'm here for Anna, but I'm also here for me, because I know when I stay in my hermit cave, just thinking and processing and dreaming and feeling, I tend to stagnate and just sit in a spiral. But when I pop out, even if it's just to show up and be social, things move and come into play. So I don't know specifically what I want aside from connection. And that just always leads to so much other magic I can't foresee or even confine. So I'll leave it at connection. My magnum opus. I've been chasing this motherfucker for years, and it comes up in so many different ways that I've surrendered to the need to define it by a career or a program or a hobby or anything else, and just looked at the deep thread of Tabitha, which is to understand, capture, and convey. It doesn't matter what it is. It sometimes shows up as sexuality and sensuality, and teaching men and women to understand, capture, and convey that in themselves. Or it could be in business, helping people like Cora understand, capture, and convey their magic. Like it's shown up in my world in so many different ways. And my goal right now is to reach a new level of not needing to define that, and just surrendering to that common thread, however it shows up. And that's scary. And Cora, I feel you on the critique thing too. When Anna mentioned the critique, I was like, how can I get critique when I don't know what I'm putting out there? And when it comes to like structured critique, what is this? What is that? You know, if it's critique on photography, are there photographers that can really give me a good critique on that? Or is it just going to be like, do you like my style or not? So I had some funny moments with that, and I hear you. But that's the weird wonky world of Tabitha, and I'm happy to share it with you guys in whatever way that flows forward. And I'm just grateful to see all your beautiful faces today. Mwah, mwah. Drop in the stick.
Hi, beautiful babes. So I'm April, and I have so much creativity that it's exciting to be in this group and just share all the shit I'm doing, because it's a lot of shit. And it's just kind of fun. I ended a journey yesterday that was big, and continuing it on a different level as a business owner, but also a creator, artist. And I'm about to lead into another piece around women and the narratives, as Anna mentioned, that we carry around as little secret lies that talk to our inner selves over and over throughout the years. So that's something that's exciting for me. And one of the things that I was afraid of when I did photography and film was the critiques, until I realized they're kind of fun to hear someone like just share like kind of a raw thought or feeling around it, and then you're kind of like, how do I feel about that, and not like being apologetic about it, just kind of absorbing like what. And I've always wanted to hear critiques around things that I do, so strangely I'm accepting of that part. So I'm creating as a business brand, and I'm writing, and I'm going to be YouTubing and all sorts of stuff that, I mean, that's just my love and life and reality. So any part of it, I am excited to have other creative women that are just going to be like, yeah, or and also just to support other creative women. I think for me, I think it's a blossom as a creator until later in my life, and really like just dig deep passionately into it. And so I'm super pumped about that, and to support everybody when they're like, even if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, like, who cares? You're beautiful. So you're creating like a beautiful version of yourself every day. So Tabitha, that was for you, because you're beautiful.
Yazi picking up the stick. I always say nature is my biggest inspiration, and since you are all made by nature, this is why I'm here. This is my biggest creation so far. And I'm obviously here because Anna has been beautiful and persistent, reminding me to be here. I do have my hands full with usually 3 kids around. But I also have lately come to discover that my life and the experiences I make in my life are definitely worth sharing on one level or the other. So my project at the moment is a book that is called Patch a Mama, and it's supposed to be an ode to stepmotherhood. So yeah, my purpose right now definitely is cleaning up with the bad energies that are connected to being a stepmother and making it something good. And my vision definitely is to make it a whole movement, a modern day motherhood movement. Yeah, just to help all the stepmoms out there who do good and, you know, go through whatever struggles they go through and I go through. But yeah, I think it's time to get rid of the evil stepmom. And I'm here because also because being inspired by other human beings is what inspires me. And I don't know, just going with the flow and seeing where it leads and what it will bring. And that's it. Putting down the stick.
I'll take it up. My name's Cora, and I am here at Anna's invitation and have been the lucky recipient of Anna's persistent encouragement and support. And I work a little in the visual arts kind of as a hobby, but I'm here because I need a bit of a shock treatment to make the shift or the leap from being very conventional and corporate to doing what I really want to do. And I was not raised that an artistic endeavor was a good or a worthy lifetime pursuit. So I'm inspired by people who have kind of blazed that trail already. And so I'm here to see how other people do it and take a little wisdom from that. And putting down the stick.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Sunny. Thank you, everyone, so thus far for sharing your visions. I am, of course, here because Anna invited me, and I have been on a DIY, do-it-yourself music tour, and I started it on March 21st of 2020, and I am coming to a point where I'm exiting out of like I've exited out a major relationship. So I'm going through a really massive transformation and like kind of like a death. Yeah. So what's happening for me is Ancient Love Story was created during the time of I was actually on a Greyhound bus heading from Los Angeles to Portland to play a ceremony concert for Mauna Kea. And I started to sing this melody. And when I had no time to prepare for the show. So, which is quite often how I do most of my performances, on the fly, and I stay open to stay a channel for what creator wants to bring through me. So when I got to the venue, the day of the show, like the woman that I was also sharing, I invited 2 other women to play with me. She said, Sunny, do you have a set list? And I said, oh, no, not yet. I have some ideas. And I knew that that melody was going to be like the golden thread that would guide me on the stage. And the words came to me, Ancient Love Story. And I know for sure that Ancient Love Story was based on the time that I had spent on the Big Island with my ex-partner, and also this great love that I have for the planet, for the mountain, for the water, for all of the elements, for all of my fellow humans, for our infinite awareness in this body, like things like this. So as I'm transitioning now out of this relationship and into a new phase, I'm turning 50 in a few weeks. It's monumental, and because it's taken me this long to do a DIY tour, and I've been on a tour with other artists around the world multiple times. So I'm like, wait, why aren't I doing this for myself? So I really need the guidance. And I love women and their sensitivity. And I do think that women are the future. I think that we need to be challenged by women. We need to be loved by women. We need to co-create with women together. And we also, I think that like, we have to do that. For me, I want to do that in harmony with the masculine. And I just feel like I get a lot of inspiration when I'm on the move, but I really am at this point where I think I'm going to make a record, and it's a DIY project. So I really, I know that there's a long production process where, people in studios, they have like a slew of songs, and the producer like helps the artist narrow down the song. So I'm going to use this space with all of you beautiful women to actually be my producers, to help me process and narrow down these songs and to help guide me. Will Ancient Love be like the broader spectrum that I bring out this record to the world, or will it be a whole new thing? And because I think Ancient Love has been like a tour that I've done through a pandemic, it's not even reached what I think Ancient Love could reach, but maybe that Ancient Love was for me only. And maybe the world needs a different vision. So that's why I'm here, because I want to like lend the songs and let you hear them and see if you can help me find that golden thread, because I'm like, I need that guidance, and I'm excited. I'm so excited that Magnum Opus is like the way that I'll be able to do that, with like women supporting me and God, having my back. And it's a vulnerable place, but vulnerability is like, I think, the way to get into the crevice and not compromise being vulnerable, get into the crevice and expose ourselves, because we are the ones that will change the world, the women with the big open hearts. So thank you, Anna, for inviting me. And thank you for everyone who's here. That's Sunny putting down the stick.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Oh, cool. I was not sure how to do that. I'm on my phone, so I'm like, meh. I love what Sunny said about empowering women, but also having the support of women, but doing it in a harmonious way with men. Such an interesting topic. I feel like definitely could dive deep on that. But yes, Anna, I love you. I'm so happy you invited me to this, and so thankful. It's been inspiring so far, just hearing where everyone's at right now. I have dived pretty deep into mural painting recently, and I was like considering going in and showing everyone, but just for time's sake, I've been all over the place artistically. I love playing music. I love ceramics, painting, resin, you name it, sculpture. And I think my toughest thing has been focusing on the Magnum Opus. Like, what is my great work? I think I dive into astrology and things like that to find myself and like know what that is. Like, honestly, I still am figuring it out. I think for me, it's like sharing those little things that I do. Like, I don't have a style as far as like I'm concerned with any particular type of art. I like to try everything. I'm so interested in so many different forms of art that I'm like, what is my style? I don't know. So I'm still like figuring it out. And it's really just that I love diving into new things and just getting into it. And so, yeah, I'm happy to share those things and see what everybody thinks about the different things I'm working on. I'm really excited because I think sometimes I get stuck like in my own little worlds. And definitely as of recent, I'm not like huge on social media and I don't really share my stuff. So I'd love to do that more as well. And I think that's all, folks.
I think everybody went. So that was really awesome to hear everyone. I'm so inspired by all of you. I'm going to tell you where I'm at creatively, because obviously part of the reason why I wanted this group, I mean, it's totally selfish. I was like, I need accountability. I want a group of people where I can send off what I'm working on, when you guys can look at it and be like, that's dope, and give me encouragement. Or if I'm like, I have this problem with this, I can't, sometimes you feel like you can't actually see what you're doing, and it helps to have other people look at it and give you their wisdom and their input. And even and this is okay, before I get into my like on my soapbox, first I'm gonna say I'm a lot like all of you in different ways. And especially Maura, I really resonated with what you said about just having your hands and everything. I have so many ideas. Like sometimes I feel like I could be a professional basket weaver and be happy for the rest of my life. And I've never even tried basket weaving. You know what I mean? So I am also looking for my magnum opus. And the process of like really feeling into who I am and really feeling into like getting rid of like these different layers of identity, and these ideas of like boxes that either society has put me in or my life experience has put me in, or things that I put myself in. They've sort of confined me and even confined my mind in a way. And as I go deeper and deeper and get better at distilling, like, and really being with who I actually am outside of all those identities, the act of creation becomes so much more potent and so much more joyful. And I care less and less about what other people think about it. And because it feels real, you know, it's like coming from a place of true authenticity. And I feel like when we create from like this place of true authenticity, then like it doesn't matter what other people say, because you're like, this is real, like it or not. There's no shame in my game. So I guess what I really need is support in the creative cycle, in the down part of the creative cycle. And I think that maybe all of you can relate to this, where you get the inspiration, you get the idea, you're lit up, you're it's like your ovaries are on fire. You're like, just, you cannot wait to get it out into the world. And then you push it out there, you start creating, and then you're like, fuck, what am I doing? Who the fuck am I to want to create something like this? Like, this is a waste of time. I should get a real job, or no one's going to understand this, or I'm going to be confusing everybody who already likes me. You know, all of these different things that come up, especially when we're going deeper and deeper, like consistently trying to become more and more authentic. It's like there's all of this self-doubt that comes in. And really what my vision for this group is that we come in and we're like, I see you. I see you, and I see who you are now. I see who you are becoming, and I support you through all of these changes. I support you through your entire transformation, and your creative work is important. And this journey that you're on is about becoming more joyful. It's about becoming more authentic. It's about liberation, right? And supporting that journey. That's what I'm really into. And I feel like as we become more ourselves, our creativity becomes more authentic. And that is like the real shit. That's what I want. That's what I want for myself. That's what turns me on when I see other people making it, is like really just like being you. And what I love about this group is that we're all so similar. I know each one of you, and we're all so similar, and we're all so different. And we each have something to bring to the table. And that just makes me so excited to see what we're going to be able to give to each other. And As far as, so obviously I'm done with my share. I'm just going to keep rambling for a second. As far as critiques go, I know this is like scary for some of you. You hear critiques, immediately you think of criticism. And in some ways, yes, these are critiques that are, you're opening your work up for other people to talk about it honestly with you. This isn't always about criticism. This is where you can come to the table with your work or your work in progress and say, look what I made. Isn't it cool? And these are the challenges that I'm encountering right now. These are the blocks and the obstacles that I'm facing. And I'm stuck, I'm blocked, or I love it, or don't even tell me what you don't like about it because I already feel that it's perfect. It's okay. And then you can just hear feedback from other people saying like, this is how it affects me. And having other people look at your work and really taking the time to really like ingest it and digest it and to appreciate it is such a gift. And being able to do that for other people is such a gift. Being to really, really like take in the work that someone is bringing out from their soul. It is so gratifying to do that. So that's what it is. And it's also if like you're writing something and you're like, this isn't right now, then, you know, what's missing? That's another way to bring something to a critique. But there are all kinds of different critiques, and accountability is a big part of that too, where it's like, you know, Tabitha, I'm telling you that in a month, you need to bring something to the table, right? And so that's like your own deadline, right? And you know that when you bring something to the table, whether it's like a new idea or photography or a piece of writing or whatever it is, you know that we are all going to be looking at it with a lot of care, and we're making that investment in your work. And that's going to help you create for us, loving you as your audience. You have a loving audience and a loving support network. So that's about critiques. Another thing moving forward, I know in the email was really, really intense. I get like that. I'm sorry. Where I'm like, we're going to take over the world. And maybe that is the bigger vision, but I am okay with things happening organically and at a pace that makes sense for everyone. And before anything else happens, it's really important to me that we all get to know each other, kind of feel out the space, and even see if it's something you want to be a part of. Like, get really honest with yourself. Like, do you want this in your life? Is it useful? Is it necessary? You know, like it's really important that you want to be here, because once you decide to be here and you make that commitment, then like you're in. So taking a few weeks to sort of feel out the space. And we'll be doing that through the Marco Polo app that I talked about, and getting to know each other and maybe collaborating on how we're going to move forward building this space. Right now, I'm in a position of leadership, but I'm not into hierarchical structures at all. I want a true community that is truly collaborative. And I expect everybody who's a part of this to step into a leadership position. And we will all be doing that as we recognize each other's strengths. So that is my vision. And I would like to open up the floor for any questions, comments, or feedback, putting the stick in the middle.
Hi, wondering about the critique times as far as is it I went to school with you, so just wondering, you know, like, is it gonna be like a sit around and like, you know, we all have our works in front and like it's like a classroom time and we all have our works there with us? Or is it going to be like, hey, Friday, I can show you this? Like, yeah, I wasn't sure.
That's a really great question. So as far as like the weekly meetings, we're gonna have to all brainstorm for a time that makes sense for everybody. And not everybody is going to bring their work in every week, right? So we're gonna be doing it on a rotating basis. So I would say you would expect to bring something to the group once every, let's say, 6 weeks. And the people who are not bringing their work in, it is your job during that critique to be there 100% for your sister, to really take in their work and to be ready to offer your insight, your feedback, your wisdom. And as far as scheduling goes, I'm sure we're going to be able to find a time that works for most people. Other people will have to make it work. We'll see what happens. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Just a thought on that. Is there a way that in the Marco Polo app we can have sort of like a rolling critique thing? So if you just want to like throw it out there and be like, everyone like make a vote or give me a feeling thought, yes or no, maybe that might be a way. If you like had something that you're like, oh God, it's, you have your creative burst and then it's like, wait, I really, really want some feedback and I can't wait 6 weeks. So I'm just wondering, that might be like something kind of awesome. And then the other thing I was wondering is if we could each take like 30 seconds and tell, because I'm so curious about all of you, and especially because we're all creators, like if you currently have a paying job and like if you could make it different, like with your creative skill set, what would it be?
April, thank you. Yeah, so the Marco Polo app, that's a great idea. And I think that it should be for that. It should be for like just inspiration and consistent feedback and like a consistent conversation. And really what I envision the Marco Polo as is also a place where we are practicing showing up as our highest self, which means that we're not engaging in stories of like victimhood, or we're not repeating like drama or any of the stuff that we are so used to engaging with, especially with other females. We're here to talk about our creative work. However, your life and what happens in your life is definitely going to be inspiring your work. Just, I want everyone to show up that way and to practice being that way. That was just something I added. But I like your idea, April. You want to do that? Let's go around and take 30 seconds and say, like, what do you really want to be doing if you're not doing it already? Putting the stick in the middle.
Sunny picking up the stick. 30 seconds. Okay, well, I'm living off like I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing. I'm living off savings that I live off a small amount that I make presently being on the road. And so I'm going to just keep doing that. Sunny putting down the stick.
Hey, so I started my own painting business right before COVID, so that didn't go too well at first. I had a bunch of jobs lined up to paint, and everyone's like, yeah, we can paint it ourselves now. But you know what? It actually was a gift. It was one of those bad things happen for a great reason. So I ended up getting commissions to do a portrait, and then someone saw that and then I got another commission. And so I've been doing artwork ever since, which is something I had really wanted to do for the longest time, but just got in the mode of life and like, you know, went on this track of regular painting, like house painting. And which I also love because it's kind of meditative and don't have to think too much. So there is like a positive end of that too. So either way, I do both of those things now, and I'm super thankful for that. And what I'd like to be doing more of is probably just more of my own artwork and selling that. So I gotta like squeeze in those things too. But yes, stick handed over.
We're picking up the stick. About 8 years ago, I'm not going to give you 8 years of my life, but it's just a bit of context. I found myself super lost I was a mum to a little girl and a wife to a really lovely husband, and I just thought I should be super grateful, right? But like something is still seriously missing and I feel really lost. So I just literally went, I don't know if there's a God or anything, but like, I'm lost, help me. I'll just do as I'm told, I'm listening. And that last 8 years, I've just followed every little bit of guidance without really needing to know how it's going to flesh out. And the last 8 years have been ridiculous. So I am very much already doing what I really want to do, but I am being called into like a whole other level of leadership. And I'm being called to like lead a movement, which I feel ready for some days, and other days I'm like, fuck no, that's not me. So it just is like a more of a deepening into what I'm already doing, and more of a courageous, revolutionary dive into like taking all of the bits off where I might still be hiding and maybe not saying the things that I really want to say, and still maybe dodging around some of my own potency. Yeah, all of that put down the stick.
So I do get paid by my own work. I currently have 3 businesses that all do the same version of the same shit in different delivery methods. So my oldest one, which I say is just my hobby business because I do it even if I'm not making money on it, is Primal Pleasure. And it's where I sink into my mad scientist of eroticism, helping women and men demystify libido issues, sexual dysfunction, learning all of the things that we should have learned, and then a whole hell of a lot of fun on top of that. I just fucking love that, but it's not been a very dominant moneymaker in the last year for me. So I keep it alive, but it's just my pleasure at the moment. And the next one is a softcore version of that through a monthly subscription gift and letter experience called the Swoon Experience. And that one is really fun and exciting for me. It's not as intimidating for people to step into as Primal Pleasure is. So I feel like I'm kind of accommodating where people are at while still being true to my art of understanding. What was it I said? I can't even remember my 3 words. They came up on the spontaneous moment. Understanding, capturing, and conveying. Yeah, our primal side. And the third would be all the shit that I learned over the years in business to do that for myself. People keep asking me to help them with. So it's not a hardcore focus, but if you want to pay me for all the stuff that I learned, I'm good with that. So that's the Enchanted Entrepreneur. I'm doing everything that I've wanted to do in some way or another. And photography has been an obsession that has tickled me through the years and is really my current point of mind fuckery between, do I let another Tabitha come out without confusing my people, the same as you guys have said, and just choosing to let it be a pleasure that doesn't have to pay me or serve a purpose other than me enjoying it. So if there's something I wanted to bring more into my business, it would be that concept. I was raised to be a workaholic. Don't know if you got that, but it's really hard for me to do something for the pleasure of doing it and not having it have to serve a practical purpose. So I'd really love more of that, like soulful impracticality.
Yazi, picking up the stick, keep thinking the right word. I guess the only thing I really want to do is be limitless, considerably limitless. Like, I mean, considering everybody else, but still not limiting myself, which for me always comes within the dynamic of a big, big family that I'm not always the one steering the boat. There's a lot of parts. So yeah, I need to own my creativity as something that is accepted by every part involved. I guess that's where I'm not at yet, but where I want to be. So that's where I'm gonna go, putting down the stick.
I can be brief here. I work as a paralegal, and I'm coming from the most extreme polar opposite of where everyone else seems to be. I'm a paralegal in a land planning firm, and it's just very very money oriented and productivity oriented and opportunity oriented. And really what I want to be doing is I used to have a little calligraphy business where I focused on weddings and just really took great delight in making brides and their mothers very happy, and doing signage and posters and kinds of related things like that. I've gotten pretty far away from that, so I really miss it, and I feel that I'm losing my skills, and I'm losing but I haven't lost the itch to do it, and it's kind of growing. So yeah, but I also have to eat, so I need to figure out how to monetize it again. So putting down the stick.
Okay, fine. I feel like mine's really hard because I've been running a business for 6 years and I love it. And I shifted everything to my own creative products that I make and design and do everything. And that's my money maker. And I'll continue to do that. But I think like in my deepest heart, I want to actually be paid to create things that inspire the female embodiment of the universe and this planet to be the highest and the healer of all the bad shit that's going on. I really want to see not the I love the flowy, cuddly, part of being a woman, but the empowered part I see lacking in such a deep way. And from young to old female I meet, including my own space, and I'm working on what that looks like. It's not going to be like a painting or I might paint in the meantime, just express myself, but there's just this very deep part of me that knows that the natural world and the pain that so many people suffer through is through a lot of imbalance in the masculine feminine space. So how to do that, how to share that, how to spread that is more viral than COVID somehow. Can I spread it like a virus? It's a healthy one. And get everybody sick with it maybe. And the fact that this group is obviously all women makes me feel at ease to share creatively, to be as bold as I want, and then also to take that into the world of the masculine and continue that and not be smaller or quieter or peacemakery or sweet or or, do the mental jumping jacks of how to say it without offending anybody. So yeah, I would love my like job. I love running a business, but I really have this thing that I think all of us are showing up to right now, of like that feminine piece of us that's not just pretty and cute and nice and cuddly and soft. There's a fire and power that's gonna blow this fucking place to a healing, better world. And I'm excited about it. So all right, cool.
Yo, Christina. It's your turn.
I was waiting because I went first the last time. I thought there was one more beautiful goddess. I was going to go last, but since I'm called out on last, I sort of forgot the question, but I loved what everyone said and I loved the commentary. So if I'm just adding commentary, not answering a specific question, or you want to remind me what the question is?
Yeah, the question is just like I guess the ultimate vision, I guess, of what you would like to wake up and do every day, outside of maybe your quote unquote job, if you have one of those, or maybe you're already doing it.
I guess the easy answer is source, just being connected. And I went to church this morning, and just an awesome reminder that being connected to the great I am is just, that's the job. Like, I don't know, like that's it for me, and I'm doing it and I'm into it. And I see all of you. You guys are all in that same vein. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. That's beautiful. So are there any more questions here at all about moving forward? Okay. So also, I think that maybe you guys see this, maybe you don't, but if you're wondering why I've recorded this meeting, it's because there's probably 4 or 5 women who weren't able to be here, but who want to be a part of this space. And I just want to make sure if everyone is okay with me sharing this video. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're cool with that? No, not cool with it? Oh, Cora. Did I see all the thumbs up? Okay, cool. Cool. Just want to make sure that I'm being respectful. So, moving forward, I'm going to start a Marco Polo group where we can start to like really get to know each other, where we can come in and talk about what we're working on. Maybe more women will join who weren't able to be here today, and you can learn about them and what they're doing. And I'm really interested in just talking about what we're into. Like, you get something that's like really inspiring to you, or like you hear a cool quote, or like something just turns you on, or there's like an idea that just like lights you up. I want to hear about that. I think this should be a space where we stop also letting like what's going on in the world, all of that negative junk, all of this stuff that you're going to find on like YouTube and BitChute and mainstream media and like that reality. Like, I would like to come here and create a new reality where we can share information, where we can share inspiration, and really cultivate love, like a high vibration of love and positivity, where creativity can really, really thrive within each of us. So we're going to start that on the Marco Polo group. I'll invite all of you. If you feel like the space isn't for you, that's totally okay. And also and then we'll talk about like the meetings and when we're going to do that. But I want to give some time for everyone to just let this sink in, to really feel into this, to feel into the idea of the Magnum Opus, of discovering who you really are and being creative from that place, and maybe just seeing what comes up for you. And I think that space of rest is going to be really important. And April, are you raising your hand? I think I'm pretty much done closing it out here. So April, go ahead.
Oh, I was just kind of processing like the part of your email that had sharing finances in these like small chunks, and what was your vision for like how that would be involved with everybody's creative processes? And is it like a monthly thing, or maybe I just skimmed the email like way too fast because it was a lot of good stuff, but I was just curious because it's such a really great idea.
Yeah, so the idea behind the money part of this is that, you know, we're all going to be, or the people who are the members of the group will be making a monthly contribution. And the way that I'm going to set this up financially is really super clean, very transparent, a legal LLC that's going to be set up as a cooperative. So all of us will be able to see what's happening with the money. A part of the monthly contributions will go towards marketing the group as a whole. And then part of it will be put in a fund for like special projects. And maybe that's to help an individual woman, or maybe that's to do some sort of group project. But I feel like that's an issue that we're all going to have to work on together and come to a consensus on together. And that's not really here for like the exploratory part of this group right now. So I feel like we need to take it one step at a time, but that's the general idea.
And if we're raising hands, can I raise my hand?
Yeah.
I just wanted to honor your timing and calling this meeting today. And I just texted you a very short blurb on the day and the date and the opening. And I didn't know if you were okay with me reading it, or you wanted to read it to the ladies. But today's a really huge portal. And I just wanted to kind of it's kind of brief. Is that cool?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So today is August 8th. It's the Lion's Gateway portal. And so you guys can do your own research on it. There's tons of stuff online, but I love that you called this meeting today. So it's every year on the 8th day of the 8th month of the year, there's a cosmic alignment called the Lion's Gateway. The Lion's Gate is a time of increased cosmic energy flowing between the physical and spiritual realms. The Lion's Gate portal is activated when the sun, Sirius, and the earth move to specific points in the sky. It is in this moment that you will realize what you truly want and what goals you need to set for the year to come. So I just feel like the invitation was so beautifully announced on this moment in time. And I just wanted to honor that intuitive space that you created today for all of us on this magical moment.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Anna.
Meow for all the lions out there.
Lioness.
Yeah, no, that was definitely intentional. It's a really powerful time, especially in this 3-hour window. I hear, so they say, between 10 and 1. So we're all here at the right time. So
thank you for that.
You're welcome. And thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Last call for questions, or
I'm just going to sign off. I have to run out, but I love you all and I'll talk to you really soon.
Right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Have a beautiful day.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay. So I would also, go ahead.
So Anna, so Marco Polo app, just that would be the next step, just to download that if we don't have it.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
we'll send you all an invite as well, just to make it a little bit easier for you all. And basically what Marco Polo app, it's like a shared video app it allows you to watch videos whenever you want to. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be in real time. So,
Okay.
and it's fun. I think
Okay. I might have to offload some things on my phone until my computer is fixed. So I'll check that out later. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, I think that it's time to close out this journey. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I really want to honor you all for being here. And whether you continue here or not, know that there's so much love, and hopefully what we discussed today sparks something in you to inspire you to continue in whatever vein, whatever river you're flowing down. So everybody take yourselves off mute and we can say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye, beautiful
Cora.
ladies.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bellas. Love you all.
Love you all. Bye-bye.